how funder mandates are growing now, but I have to remind you that not all research is funded, and there are many disciplines that are producing research that that is not based on public funding. Yet the institutions, which I think are the sleeping giants of the open access movement, the institutions are the ones who are going to really provide the bulk of the open access output. In fact, institutions are the universal providers of research. They're the ones, research institutions and universities are the ones at which all of the research is done. So if we have a way of making all institutional research open access, then all funded research is also open access, but the funding doesn't cover all of research. I'm going to go quite quickly. By the way, can I have a signal from the audience? Are we now on slide 2? Wave if it's on slide 2.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So first, I'm going to go very quickly through what I hope Alma Swan has already covered earlier today. What is open access? It is in fact free online access to refereed research articles. The target of open access is 2.5 million articles published every year in 25,000 peer-reviewed journals and peer-reviewed conference proceedings. That is the specific primary target of open access. There are other optional targets, but I strongly urge, and most of the people in the field agree, that it is the first target that should be captured with all focus first, before moving to things that are not so clear. Books are not, whereas all journal articles are given away for free by their authors, without exception. That's not true of books and textbooks. Some authors want to give them away, some don't. It's not true of magazine articles. It's not true of newspaper articles. It's certainly not true of music and video, and it's unfortunately not true of software either, and therefore it's not true of all of knowledge. This area, however, is an exception-free special case, and that's why we focus on it. I also will perhaps say a little bit about access to research data, which is also not an exception-free area, because researchers don't, they all want to give away their research journal articles. That's why they publish them. They want them to be used and applied and cited. But their data, sometimes they would prefer to hold on to, so that having gathered it, they have a chance to data mine it, rather than gathering it and then immediately making it accessible to all other researchers who have not gathered it, to data mine it perhaps even before they get a chance to do it. That would be a big disincentive to data gathering. There are areas where there is no further data mining to be done except collectively, like the Human Genome Project, where the researchers are quite happy to make their data available as soon as they have them. But many, many areas of research are not like that. And so again, research data, like books, are not an exception-free giveaway, author giveaway area. Unrefereed preprints are the same thing. The physicists who, since 1991, and the computer scientists even earlier, who have made their pre-refereeing preprints available to everyone online, are a minority among researchers. There are many disciplines, especially biology, where researchers definitely don't want to make their unrefereed results available because they can be a danger to public health if they turn out to be wrong. Moreover, there are many areas in which researchers prefer not to take the chance of putting incorrect results freely onto the web. This is not true, on the other hand, of unrefereed journal articles, because those are already published. From the moment that a journal article is published, all refereed journal article authors, without exception, want them to be accessible to as many potential users as possible. There are two ways to provide open access, and we've heard a little bit about both of them today. Green open access self-archiving is what I'm talking about. Golden open access publishing is another way to do it, and it's doing quite well. But there are many reasons why it's likely that golden open access will not reach anywhere near 100% soon. And therefore, if we're waiting for open access by waiting for all publishers to convert to golden open access publishing, we're going to be waiting an awfully long time. Moreover, green open access self-archiving will probably hasten the day when there's an eventual translation to gold open access publishing. Moreover, green open access self-archiving is full 100% open access. There's nothing that justifies the very frequent error of equating open access itself with golden open access. Golden open access is a form of open access, but it is not the only one, and it is in fact not the quickest and surest way to reach 100% open access. So all the rest of what I have to say today will be about green open access self-archiving, not about golden open access. Why open access? Because open access maximizes research progress, the access, the usage, the uptake of research. The direct benefits of open access are research impact, progress, and productivity. The side benefits of open access are access for the developing world, access for students, and public access. The remarkable and admirable efforts of SPARC on behalf of the NIH public access policy were based largely on an appeal to public access to publicly funded research. Now, as I've said, not all research is publicly funded. In fact, a large proportion of it isn't. And moreover, and this is even more important, most of research, not biomedical research, but other areas of research, just a second, I have to extend. Most areas of research are not of interest to the general public. As a consequence, if you make your case for open access on the basis of the burning need for the public to have access to all research, even all funded research, it is a case that won't carry with every area of research. It carried well with biomedical research because it's so obvious in medicine that the public wants to know about its health. But if you take more esoteric areas of research, and there are many, there is no public interest. In fact, the public can't even understand these specialized technical articles. So the basis for for open access to research is the direct one, which is research progress, and not public access. That's an extra benefit, a side benefit, but it's not the main rationale. How to provide open access? By self-archiving all of those 2.5 million articles published every year in the institutional repository of the author. The main theme of my talk today is to explain why it is that the direct locus of deposit should be the institutional repositories, because the institutions are the providers of all research in all disciplines, whether funded or unfunded, all over the planet. Moreover, because all of these institutional repositories are OAI compliant, that means they're interoperable, it means they can be harvested into central collections. And the logical, the practical, and the most strategic way to reach 100% open access is to focus on having institutional output deposited in institutional repositories locally in the institution, and then harvested centrally into central repositories like PubMed Central and others. It doesn't make any sense for mandates to mandate that the deposit should be central, because not only do funders not cover all research, whereas all institutions cover all research, but that makes mandates divergent. It means researchers don't know whether they should publish, they should deposit centrally or institutions. And most important of all, institutionally, but most important of all, it fails to provide an incentive for institutions, the sleeping giant of open access, the universities, the 10,000 universities and research institutions world over, making funder mandates specify central deposit fails to make a synergy with institutional mandates. The NIH covers 80,000 papers, and that's very important that those should become open access. But you get a lot more power out of the NIH mandate if instead of requiring that those papers should be directly deposited in PubMed Central, you require them to be deposited in each researcher's